Hello everyone. We hope you're having an amazing day today. This week has been a precious one for all the Yellowstone fans out there as we finally welcomed the 5th season of the series. The show had a pretty strong start, which is not a rare occasion for the Yellowstone series in general. Do you remember the beginning of Season 4, the one we witnessed the aftermath of every single character being attacked? Well, it was a delight to watch for sure. Even though the very beginning of Yellowstone Season 5 was not as bold, it was still pretty glorious as witnessed John being the governor of Montana. In the Season 4 final, we left our characters in a situation where they were all in a transition period. John was preparing to race in the governorship elections, Beth was there for his father while also getting used to being a married woman, Casey was preparing to become a father for the second one as Monica was carrying their baby, and Jamie was trying to figure out what to do now that he has lost everything against Beth. As you can see, it was a very exciting moment for all of them, but none of the incidents took place within that particular season, so we had to wait for Season 5 to come so that we can skip the transition part and see things as they are. Thankfully, Season 5 took off a few months after Season 4 ended, which is why we immediately saw John being the governor. Although it was a glorious evening, it was clear that John wasn't much happy with his choice to become a politician and would rather do anything else than be the one who rules the state of Montana. Jamie seemed to get used to being a slave of Beth, though he couldn't help himself to warn his father whenever he crosses the line when it comes to the state business. Beth was revisiting her entire life as she was feeling sorry for being so horrible to Rip for all those years, regretting that they lost so many years because of her attitude. The most tragic of all, however, was the story of Monica and Casey as they lost their unborn baby in a most brutal car accident. The incident hurt them deeply, though it also brought them closer to one another since they chose to deal with this together. In fact, the entire family united over this tragedy, forgetting for a second that they have a war going on in Montana. Now that we got 2 episodes in a row and got pretty impressed with what has been going on in the Duttons' lives, all eyes are on the 3rd episode of the series as we cannot wait for it to be released. According to the official schedule of the TV show, Yellowstone Season 5 Episode 3 will be released on November 20 at 8 p.m. Even though we are yet to get a teaser on the new episode, we have a new trailer for the rest of the entire season, which has a lot of juicy details on what to expect from the series. For instance, in one scene, we see John speaking with Rip. "Nobody knows what the hell we do anymore," he says to Rip and continues, "I think it's time we remind them." Now, based on the first 2 episodes, we know that Rip is concerned about John's new position as the governor and its impacts on the Yellowstone ranch. He even told Beth that John will eventually lose his ranch, which is alarming. Cole Hauser, the actor who plays the part of Rip, recently referred to these feelings of Rip in an interview as he said the following. So the feelings are what he said, which is he's concerned that all these people coming onto the ranch. It's new for him. The idea is that there are crowds of people on the ranch. This is his backyard. All of a sudden, there are tons of different people. He's used to looking at cows and wolves and elk and deer. So I think it's new for him. And I love that Taylor wrote it that way. I think it affects him initially, and then he starts to get used to it throughout the season and what potentially John Dutton is going to be to not only the state, but also to the people of the state. Well, thankfully, Rip has Beth in his life as a strong support mechanism so that he can overlook his concerns over John. When it comes to Rip and Beth, we expect Episode 3 to focus more on the flashback scenes since it's clear that the marriage triggered something in Beth and she wants to make up for all the damages she caused in the past. We know that Rip does not blame Beth for anything, but still, we are glad to have those flashback scenes as they are pretty satisfying in terms of getting a deeper glimpse into the couple's relationship. It seems like Hauser is also a fan of those scenes as he says, "I don't know how the audience feels, but I love it. I think Kelly would agree, the idea of going back in their past and seeing what made them get to where they are and the comfortableness that they have together and also the special relationship that has preceded them. There's more of it. And I love that Taylor wrote it and the 2 actors that did it, they're lovely. And so I'm excited for the audience to see more of the past when it comes to them." What are your thoughts on Yellowstone Season 5 so far? What do you expect to see in Episode 3? Let us know what you think in the comments below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.